Now he's just saying, I want to fight you. This is something small that some Skye players do. When you flash this corner, notice how he jumps. Why do you think he jumps?
Ooh, to dodge the pre-fire.
Dodge the pre-fire headshot, right? So you can do this a lot of times, especially if this guy's shooting. So he notices, he's like, oh, this guy's spam shooting, right? On the corner, jump over it. So that way, worst case scenario, you get tagged like twice in the body. And then he aim labs his free moment. All good. If you're enjoying the content, feel free to join my Discord server linked below. This is where you can win a free coaching session for yourself, or you can subscribe and get a bunch of other benefits, like the ability to watch every single coaching session I've ever done. You can get your tracker reviewed live on stream, or you can sit in with me while I break down pro players' gameplay and explain why they do the things that they do. Or maybe you just want to enter Sub Wars and destroy some of my other subscribers live on stream. Anyways, enough selling out. Have a good one. Okay, he has 2 flashes, full util. Okay, so the thing about Lotus that's like super fun is that, I mean, you guys have tuned into enough streams at this point, but like I'll talk about it anyway. This control right here is the best control of your life. The reason why is because of how many options it kind of gives you as an attacker sided like group, right? So as an attacker sided group, you're capable of flooding towards C side, right? You're capable of flooding towards through breakable to A, as long as you have one person on one of these ends, right? On top of this, if you have one person on one of these ends, you're securing 2 different ult orbs, which allows you to stabilize your ult economy much more, right? So it doesn't matter which side you're going, you're essentially going to guarantee yourself 2 ult orbs and routes and paths to each site. So it's like, if you really don't know what to do, like your rushes aren't working, like you followed the OD26 method, like, hey, for the first 4 or 5 rounds, you're going to run it down attack. You don't know what to do and you can't get a read on the enemy, just call, hey, let's control front B. Let's have somebody work outside C. We'll look to either end B or C, right? And you'll just see what you see, and whatever side seems weaker, you just open the door, you hit, and then like they're forced to rotate. 'Cause if you look at their rotations versus yours, right? Your rotation right here is literally that. Like this is all your rotation is, comparative to their rotation, where it's like this at like worst, which you can obviously, the green line is longer, and this rotation is also longer than the rotation from here to here, right? So no matter what, the rotation time becomes slightly longer, which is annoying to deal with, so you can keep going back and forth and just piss them off, honestly. And on top of that, that's like if they insta rotate as well without hesitation, where they might think that you're faking the door pressure until contact's made, right?
Would you have a gun, Neon?
No, I just do.
Oh, okay. We can wolf this opera, maybe. Maybe we can.
Yeah. One on top side.
Oh, is he playing retake?
He grabs our best friend.
Nice shot. Nice shot. I'm a wolf for the opera. Don't peek right away.
Yep.
Oh, there's 2.
2 here. 4v2, Reyna ult pops.
He just peeks wide.
Honestly, he can take the fight. This fight's fine. He's holding a really tight angle because he's playing on what he believes to be an on angle. And the Reyna wide swings and then just double taps into the door, which is fine. Because if that Reyna peeks properly, then, or like peeks Subroza, then they win. Oh, they won the round.
Servings. Wait, can you give me 1/10 of this? Wait, put it in like one of those like plastic cups. You know the plastic cups?
I'm gonna leave the bomb outside there.
Subroza's doing his calorie counting, getting in shape. I like that from him.
On this bang at the start.
Alright.
I disagree with this flash.
Nothing.
Does this flash at the start actually hit the box though, if they're tucked? That's my concern. So the way I personally enjoy flashing this when I play Skye, and the way I see other like pro teams, like in pro matches throw this flash, right, is for like bubble information. So what bubble information kind of means, right? Wait, is there a way I can just do, okay. I was like, I wonder if there's a way I can just save this slide, but whatever. Bubble information is super simple, right? With Skye flashes, it's kind of like, you have to remember your Skye flash gives you information. So if you pop your flash here, it's going to bubble into both and maybe even behind this box, right? I think he throws it a little bit higher, so it will hit behind the box. But this is kind of how the flash works. It gets you information on everything. So if you throw the flash into this corner, the only place it can get information on is right here and right here, right? So it kind of eliminates that fear of like somebody being everywhere and you having to clear everything. It kind of just tells you, oh, if this flash pops here and it gets nobody, nobody's behind this box guaranteed. That's kind of what I like to use it for personally, because if you do that, especially when you're in Subroza's situation, he's one away from ult. You could pop Seekers, and then they could pop Harbor ult, and they're forced off the site, and they get perfect information, and they get the bomb down, and then they just have somebody like late lurking A, and they just win the round. So in this situation, it would have been like really good. What's up?
I apologize for the like basic mechanics question, but
Mhm.
if you evade a Skye flash with your crosshair, does she still stay blinded?
Yeah, it doesn't matter where the bird is. So you could be the Skybird could be here, and you could be looked into this corner. It'll still stay blinded because
Wow.
flashes hit you regardless, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ult.
Did we break the trip?
Yeah, I did.
Did you beat me? I think so.
I'm down to go back in at Skye ult. Thank you.
I'm gonna go back A with
It
Skye.
gets so cool.
Pulls back turret. That's something small that a lot of Killjoy players need to do, right? He pulls back the turret, so anyone that may be sitting inside info range of the turret,
I'm a ult
whatever.
when you wall spawning out. 1A. Tree, I
flashes.
think, yeah.
I'm not gonna see
A. Tree, I think, yeah.
I'm not gonna see
I think that Omen fell asleep at the wheel, bro. What the fuck was that? Okay. This is like best plant spot Lotus, by the way, or like one of them. I think it's actually slightly worse than the traditional spot, or no, not traditional, but like this is slightly worse than like how he could have done it. It's easier to spam if you're from main, but at the same time, if you plant this bomb right here and you look outwards, it plants for both tree and main, so you get both. Where he tucked it into this corner, yeah, you can still spam it. It's not hard to spam this corner, if I'm gonna be honest. Like from tree, it's pretty easy, but it's better if you could just see the person, right? So I like planting slightly out in the open right here, but this is the plant spot that where you can plant for main, and that's it. But it's a much better plant spot than default because it gives you more options.
Crouch it, and hold.
He's heaven. Chambers heaven.
Notice how he calmed to his teammate. Hey, can you crouch here and hold? Because if he's crouch holding and his Harbor's stand holding, which I think is actually happening right here, his Harbor will take contact before, like his Harbor will take contact before he will. On top of that, I'm not sure if this is like actual tech, but I wonder if because he crouches, the angle of which people take contact at is slightly better for the defender. I'm not sure.
Chambers
I truthfully do not know, but I wonder if that's the case.
Maybe.
Because why would he want to crouch? I am not sure. Could just be changing the angle of when your head gets exposed slightly than normal.
I'll stand for you. Stun.
I'm so over it.
It's 2 on
It ain't
A.
tripping.
Wait,
It ain't tripping.
wall it real quick? Trip here. Nothing behind your wall. Nothing in link. I'm walking. Just
Yeah,
wait.
he should walk through. His teammates are too scared.
Might not know about me. Wait, one heaven, one spawn.
Is there a
Spawn,
reason he
spawn.
doesn't
I can't
destroy
shoot that, I can't shoot
the
that.
KJ Molly?
Yeah, so the reason why is because they don't know if
I-
he's here, right? Nobody's seen him, and they don't know if they're in, and the Killjoy just killed the Harbor, right? So he kind of walked past, and this is like a timing, like it's imaginary time. Like the enemy should be know it's possible for him to be here, but there's a low likelihood for them to expect that he's here. You know what I'm saying?
One spawn, one heaven.
Yeah.
Puts her on me.
This is like a gamble and hoping that the enemy gets lazy
Nice.
and checks. It doesn't check.
One rotating, two spawn. Two
He's gonna flash a turret,
I'm
maybe.
waiting for the turret to get off and then I'll go. It's gonna be late.
I'm going for a headshot.
Turret's gonna.
KJ.
Oh,
I'll kill one. I want
I'm playing for one.
kill.
I'm playing for one.
definitely
Yeah.
hurt him. This guy made a step. Yep.
Oh,
He's confused, but like, okay, you know why this happened, right?
turret's gonna.
KJ.
Right there, right? He made a step. This alerts a person in spawn that's currently rotating late because the chamber was hard anchoring to see if they would come back C. right? So Chamber's hard anchoring. He's right here. He hears this, so now he's like hyper aware of it, and he's like just hard holding for him.
He like rotated clearing this. I think he heard the misstep.
Yeah. Okay, good reflection, Subroza. I'm proud of you. Good job.
Wait,
almost like
I
you
have
are a
a
pro.
question.
Yeah, what's up?
Does like Skyle have priority over KJL or not?
No, Killjoy has priority over Skye ult. So the way you can kind of view priority in Ultimate is like the impact it
Yeah.
actually has, right? So there's two different ways that you can kind of view like its prio, right? It's immediate priority or average priority, right? So if you're 6 out of 7 on Skye ult, right? Then
Yeah.
and like you're like 3 out of 8 on Killjoy ult, obviously Skye ult has priority, right? That's like
Yeah, yeah,
numbers thing. But on average, you have to think, what is the impact on an ultimate? Like, what's it's gonna have on the map? So, for example, a Sov ult has the potential to get you a kill or the potential to play post plant, right? So this is more of a gamble / mid-round kind of ultimate, right? Don't get me wrong, Sov ult's really strong and it can have its moments, but it's not guaranteed value, right? When you think about a Killjoy ult, this is guaranteed value. Now think about Skye ult, right? It seems like it's guaranteed value. I mean, you guaranteed find 3 people, but at the same time, popping it off the rip to figure out where 3 people are. But if there's somebody that's playing here, they pop a smoke and then they just spam into the seekers, there's a pretty high probability that you're just gonna break all seekers before they can even get there. So it's not really an initiation ult, it's more of like a mid-round kind of ultimate. That's like what its whole point is. Like, and it's like when there's only 3 people alive, so 3v3, you know, 3v2, whatever it may be, this is the situations where it's going to be like the best and have absolute value. So if you think of Killjoy, it's literally just like, fuck you, I get to do what I want, right? That's kind of how you should think about it. So any ult that basically says fuck you is like a high prio ult. It's like Phoenix ult, that's a fuck you ult because like you're just running in as a Phoenix ult. Like you're just getting an extra man. Like who doesn't want that, right? Harbor ult is a pretty high priority ult because it's like a reconnaissance plus whatever ult, right? Astroball's okay. This is more of a situational ult and a map ult dependent. It can be high priority on a map like Pearl, but other maps it'll be a slightly lower priority, right? Breach ult is the definition of a fuck you ult, but I swear this shit never works for me. But like Breach ult is a fuck you ult, Fade ult is a fuck you ult, right? Gets you infinite information, damage, cuts audio. But you should see the trend here of kind of like what ult is strong and what ult isn't. But yeah. Skye is like is what I would call a relatively good ult to pick up because it's obviously really good. But there are better ults, for example, Killjoy and Harbor, and I'd even say Raze ult probably has a slightly higher prio than Skye ult, just because the entry power.
Thank you.
Of course. It's literally what I'm here for, guys. That's what you guys pay me for.
Backside.
Oh, he got in.
I'm on waterfall. We take CT.
I'll wolf for you guys.
What a play.
I'm naded.
What an unfortunate sequence of events.
Two more.
Two more CT.
Okay, so fighting CT here is really good. But Subroza dogging is bad, actually, in my opinion. The reason why is because if you look at where Dicey is, he's already secured this right side space. Like, this guy's already out. Like, he's peeking. So you kind of want him to walk with the Jet, because no matter what the situation is, they don't have any hard flashes. They've got Omen near sight, Reyna near sight, but, like, that's the best they have. And they don't know that they're pushing spawn until that dog's heard. But obviously they do nade, so... I don't know. I think the dog there's a mistake, personally. I disagree with his flash. I think his flash is worse. Like, yeah, you flash people off the corner, but if you flash deep, then you jump spot close. Like, I think that's just a better sequence of events. Because now he's still worried about the box. Also, number one thing, if you ever watch pros by yourself, don't take their plays as law. They're suggestions, right? Like, they do certain things, and sometimes they also have bad habits, so. I just see a lot of loyal people watch pros and be like, yes, this is 100% factual. You should think about the ability itself and what it's actually doing and go from there. He did it again. He knew. Okay, this is really smart, right? So he broke the trip, like they've done basically every round. And he's basically conditioned them that they break the trip. And they didn't see him walk in B the first round they walked in B, right? So this Killjoy didn't, at least. And, you know, the Chamber did catch him on the rotation, but could have been a late work through rubble, whatever it was, right? So they don't know that he's done this before, and he knows there's no alarm bot to actually catch him as well, right? So he just kind of goes from there. He moves forward. And then he gets a free kill. Runs out, gets his gun,
I'm going to see. Flank C, flank C. Go see.
and now he's trying to kill the chamber.
Never mind. He's on that side.
This chamber's gonna know exactly where he is, right? Mm.
70 on him.
He's holding properly.
Bro,
He's playing this right. Chamber just he just doesn't get the headshot or crosshair placement slightly.
Yeah.
This guy bought a judge, bro. I'm over it. I'm sick of him.
Open door, I'll wolf for you guys.
Oof oof. I disagree with the pathing on the dog when it goes close left, but I like dogging, like pathing the dog to go right side, but
And mid side.
so they just wait for the ult. Ulting in the tree is Killjoy is literally the freest thing of your life.
one flank. One heaven, one flank.
Now Subroza's trolling.
Drop.
Molly that.
He drop. Heaven and drop.
Last one flank.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. Never forget
He drop.
when it's your teammates you tell, like your Killjoy mollies, look at how slow the damage that it does to him, right? It does, I think, I'm not sure if it's 1/3 or 1/4 the damage, but it's one of the two, right? It's either 1/3 or 1/4, right?
Last one flank.
It's either 1/3 or 1/4 the damage, so feel free to like catch people off guard, especially as like a flash character, to like run through your own molly. Like nobody ever expects it because like, you know, it's psychotic, but at the same time, like it does so little damage to you that you can usually get a free kill. Because they're gonna be holding the molly because they got nothing else better to do.
Yeah, Xander did it in the VOD yesterday too.
Yeah, just run through mollies, bro.
He's gonna
If
try
it's
to
your
kill the
teammate's
hammer.
molly, just run through it. Okay. He did his pre-round checklist. He saw he had ult. He saw they had ult.
I'm ulting. There's one more A somewhere. I think tree, yeah.
And tree. Tree. And go tree. Raise him right in that tree.
Raise went to say.
It's like really unfortunate. So this is like a small mistake by Subroza.
Tree, yeah.
So he only has one cabbage that goes towards tree, but there ended up being 2 towards A. And the reason why this happens is because he popped his cabbages closer to the rubble door than he did to the actual site itself, right? So when you pop cabbages, this is obviously something that he can't like calculate for on the fly. He just assumed, right? And it's not like a big problem, but like when you pop your cabbages, wherever you pop, it's the 3 closest targets to you. So for example, if you're right here, and this rain is like here, and there's like 2 people around this area, and there's 1 person here, then the cabbages will go to this place and this place instead of going to this guy. But this is a guy that you want cleared, right? So the kind of fix for this is either to cabbage right here or cabbage right here and wait till you're closer to the A site, so that way your cabbages will perfectly lead for you. That's like all, right? I think he pops it like right here, right? It's like right here. Yeah. So that's why only 1 cabbage goes towards A and 2 go towards B. It's just unfortunate, honestly. My favorite buy is double flash heal, classic light armor, but
For the half.
the dog is pretty good for like mid-round and direct information. He's probably gonna blow his dog early to like see if there's multiple people front B, and then he's gonna play fast rotate. That would be my guess.
I don't even care that this harbor is 6'11". Just the fact he's coming, it's actually fun to play with him. You know what I mean?
Dude, thank you, Subroza. It doesn't matter how bad you play, as long as you have good energy and you're calming, people enjoy it.
Like I wish people come like him when they were bad.
This poor guy, man. Yeah, he's just trying to be a good teammate. Yep, so he wolfs front B, gets direct info.
I think they're towards A. Heavy.
So he gets the information because they made A heavy. Think about pistol round, what do most people do? They rush pistol round, right? So he's losing a 1v1 to a turret, all good.
Losing that chip damage to
Yeah,
it,
could
too.
be past.
He's even like, damn it.
I'll take flash peak harbor.
What a calm. Delays pop the flash.
Watch out.
What great patience. Okay, so he knows that the Killjoy turret's up and active. That means the Killjoy's probably lagging behind somewhere. And there's this wall here, right? So once the harbor takes contact on somebody, what do you think this person behind the wall wants to do, right? Push through, obviously. That's like he wants to try to kill this person unsuspectedly. So Subroza, on the other hand, says, screw that. I'm just going to hold the wall for him and let the Harbor take his fight because we're already in a disadvantageous situation anyway, right? We're already 4v5, 3v5. So even if this Harbor dies, it's like it's still the same disadvantage. You're still +2 or worse, right? That's kind of the way you think about it. So all of a sudden now, Harbor wins his 1v1, we win our 1v1, and now all of a sudden it's 3v3, all because he showed some patience, right? You don't always have to go fast when you're down numbers. Oh, wow. All right, the Harbor just trolled, though. Harbor just ran into the site for no reason.
I'm open door. Yeah, I'm open door and then come out.
He opens door, walks away, creates pressure, so that way they think the person's tree. This Reyna goes and re-clears tree. And now it's a situation of Reyna stuck in tree. Oh, he didn't re-clear tree. Oh no. I thought he went towards tree too, to be honest.
35 on him.
That's fine, honestly. Subroza's not intentionally trying to take the fight. He's trying to wiggle and like just create pressure so the killjoy can walk up, which is fine. This is dumb. Oh, he's flashing. Okay, it's fine. I thought he was gonna try peek him. I was like, the guy's trolling.
I'm wolf from the door.
Always remember, if you're playing Skye and you're flashing, so many people have this bad habit of like curving their flash around the corner. I don't even know if you were here. If you were on Twitter, you saw all about this, but they have this bad habit of throwing the flash in like a curving manner. It takes longer for your gun to pull out because you can just let the bird go and have it go straight into the wall. So if you see Subroza, when he does this, right?
Could be.
He's gonna throw the flash and he's just gonna aim right at the corner of this wall. The bird's gonna continue to fly straight, right? Then he pops, he turns for himself, right? But that's all he turns for. You'll notice his gun is already out as like the bird pops, basically. It's just an easier way to cheese the timing of the bird because there's a longer pullout time if you're controlling the bird the entire way. So he flashes for information, the turret gets the information anyway, and then he dogs for exact information to figure out how many there are. They find 3, which allows for more rotations. This is like, it's not the best use of utility at like pro level, but in ranked, it's really good. Now he's just saying, I want to fight you. This is something small that some Skye players do. When you flash this corner, notice how he jumps. Why do you think he jumps?
Ooh, to dodge the like pre-fire.
Dodge the pre-fire headshot, right? So you can do this a lot of times, especially if this guy's shooting. So he notices, he's like, oh, this guy's spam shooting, right? On the corner, jump over it. So that way, worst case scenario, you get tagged like twice in the body. And then he aim labs his free moment.
Oh,
All
no,
good. So in conclusion, what we learned from Subroza is jumping over flashes. Very helpful. I still disagree with how he's throwing this flash front B, right? We talked about front B control. That's very important. We talked about how the cabbage targeting kind of works. We talked about how blinds work, even if you're not looking at them, right? That's basically, I mean, that's Skye in a nutshell though, right? I think that's it. I think it's pretty good.